Brachtenbach will come face-to-face with her bosses at the NPA today, and credit providers still not conducting proper affordability assessments. I'm Lebo Changala with this news update. Prosecutor Glenys Brachtenbach will come face-to-face with her bosses at the National Prosecuting Authority offices in Pretoria today. Her lawyer Gerard Avegenach says she will meet them to discuss her possible return to work. Brachtenbach was suspended last year for her handling of a mining rights case, but she says it was an attempt to stop her from prosecuting suspended head of crime intelligence Richard Mbluli. Brachtenbach was cleared of all charges last week. The NPA has indicated that it's taken the decision of its own disciplinary hearing to court on review. The National Credit Regulator says it has found that credit providers are still not conducting proper affordability assessments before lending. It is now striving to curb reckless lending as credit providers begin to show signs of pressure due to extensive consumer over-indebtedness. The regulator has proposed two key regulatory amendments to tighten the credit environment. The amendments, which will be submitted for public comment, are expected to come into effect this year. The regulator secretary, Lesiba Mashaba, says in some cases consumers are also to blame because they do not reveal accurate information to credit providers.
Consumers also sometimes are also blamed because they don't disclose their true financial position to credit providers. So generally, it's a problem on both sides. Consumers are clearly over-indebted. What we find is maybe there is also no caution by credit providers when they lend. But we believe that with the affordability assessment guidelines that will be introduced, this will serve better to combat over-indebtedness.
Some economists say that the time is right for the Reserve Bank to cut its growth outlook. The bank says it might have to further cut its 2.4 growth outlook for 2013. It has reiterated that the country's growth prospects remain fragile. Gross domestic product growth figures last week came in weaker than expected in the first quarter of this year. Dr. Iraj Abedian, chief economist and executive at Pan-African Capital Holdings, says the figures show a gloomy picture of government's finances. He says the recent figures are not likely to be better than those of the second quarter.
It is absolutely right that we have to downwardly revise our growth expectations and projections, because in the first quarter it's less than half of what projected, and of course much of the disruption to the economy has begun during the second quarter. And we're going to unfortunately see a second quarter result when they come out in the next months not much better than the first.
And the city of Cape Town says it will continue to engage communities who want to work with the city to make it a better place for all residents. This follows the disruption of a public meeting in Kosovo, Philippi. Mayoral spokesperson Soli Malatsi says last night police advised Mayor Patricia de Lille to leave the meeting before she could share vital service delivery information with the community due to the unruly behavior of a small group of people. It's the second time in 2 weeks that she has received this reception in Philippi.